Hey, what's going on, people? My name is Nate, and today we've learned a few details about the engine in which Black Ops 3 will be running on from an announcement made by an employee at Treyarch. And to tell you the truth, it's nothing all that unexpected, although it does allow us to guess and get a slightly better idea of what improvements, performance, and graphics-wise that we may be seeing in Black Ops 3. So here's what Dan Bunting, which is a very fun name to say, had to say about it. Quote, "People used to talk about game engines as if it was a singular product that the game's built on. But engines are really collections of tech that have some very basic fundamental architecture to them. The core architecture of Black Ops 3 is still based on the technologies that it's been built off of in past games. But most engines in the game industry for large-scale games have come from a lineage back to an earlier game engine. Engines these days, especially for games this kind of scope, are varied, so that each component of the engine has its own engine in a lot of ways. The engine itself, what people refer to as the engine, is the technology the studio develops along the way." So essentially what this translates to is him saying the engine is almost new. So as Bunting pointed out, Black Ops 3 will unsurprisingly be run off of the very old but very heavily modified Quake 3 engine, which we're now used to seeing in Call of Duty, and in itself, the Quake 3 engine alone is an absurdly outdated gathering of technologies. But thanks to heavy modifications the developers over at Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer have made, allow the engine to run Call of Duty very smoothly. But I digress. The only improvements we are likely to see, despite the extensive overhaul of the engine almost every single aspect, the fact still remains the engine in itself is still Quake. Therefore, we may only be seeing a few shade, lighting, and graphical improvements, but it's unlikely we're going to get to see anything too fancy. And after seeing Black Ops 3 gameplay, it seems like Treyarch is sticking to the graphical, I guess you could call it the graphical style of Black Ops 2. You know what I mean? Like, comparing MW3 with Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2 wasn't that much more successful than MW3 graphics-wise, but it's certainly, its graphical style certainly varied from that of MW3. And that's one of the reasons why Call of Duty can get away with employing such prehistoric tech, because so long as they can keep switching styles and doing minor graphical improvements, Call of Duty won't really need any new engine. It's not like the game really pushes anything to its limit, so it has the ability to keep updating one engine and getting away with it. However, that's not to say that Call of Duty won't upgrade, because at this point, the irreplaceable elements of the engine that remain Quake are already at their maximum performance. We're not going to get to see Call of Duty run more than 60-ish FPS at this point. Of course, we still may see minor improvements, but nothing that big. Nor are the render distances or anti-aliasing abilities going to improve so long as Call of Duty remains Quake. Alrighty, just needed to switch my mic there for a second, but this is the climax of the video anyway. Those are all my statements, most of which are reinforced by fact. But for all we know, Call of Duty runs off Adobe Flash Player 6.8 or something. But if you did enjoy this video and you found it to be interesting and you'd like to learn more about the Quake engine, I'll have a link or two-ish in the description below, so you can check it out yourself. I've been reading on and off for about 30 minutes, and I still don't fully understand it, but I encourage you to give it a shot, learn a bit more about what you're playing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to show your support, a like rating is always more than sufficient. Thanks for watching, everybody. My name is Nate, and I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye, everyone.